Greetings, greetings, family.
Woo!
Near and far, far and wide, on planet, off planet, in the planet. You don't know how it goes over there. Shambhala.
Shambhala.
You don't know. The planet is hollow. Trust me. Everything down there. You think I want me to run? The real place, trust me. So when I tell you, say, we have visitation, I come from outer space. Them already die a long time. Come in, my youth.
Yeah, if you're tapped into this video, greatness is going to occur in your life. All you have to do is be open to receive, you know? And yeah, we're back with Lady Crowne, and we don't stay down, we stay up, and we don't chat pop, because it's Real Talk, episode 94, you know? And greetings to you all, you know? Blessings to everybody out there. And yeah, what you got to say to the people, them?
Isn't life wonderful? Isn't being here in this day and this time absolutely awesome? It's amazing. The world will never be the same, thank goodness, because we don't want it to be the same. That top-down slavery mentality that we've been born into. Go school, go work, get a job. When man and man sit down, they have press button and put how much zillions into them account. You know, the family that, well, I can't remember the name. I think I did a video on it some time ago, who actually prints up the currency for different countries. One of them printing up for different countries, and I print up some for themselves. This top-down, tyrannical, really grossly unfair system is coming to an end. It already has ended. The big petrodollar, the big mighty dollar, yo, it's been sucker punched by the BRICS and Shanghai Corporation. It's over for them. Trust me. So for me, I don't know about others out there, because I can't speak for others, but for me personally, hey, me glad settle, me glad bag boss. Trust me, an amazing time for you to stand up in your power and take back what rightfully belongs to you, and stop supporting those who seek to destroy you, remove you off the face of this planet, and take everything that you have and tell you, say, you will be happy. When them shrubby,
You have to support those that support you.
Ashe.
You get me? Like, trust me. You know, reality is all about your focus. Because wherever your focus goes, your energy flows. You know what I mean? A lot of people need to focus on what best serves them, you know? Because trust me, we're creating reality. You know what I mean? And this has just come to me now, yeah? Great minds want to know what you're thinking. Otherwise, they can't really connect with you on a level. That's what I've noticed, because all the master teachers, yeah, they all got a key trait, learning about the internal self. Because when you learn about your internal self, you realize that is your greatest governor. Not out there. Your internal self is your greatest governor. So it's so key for us to keep on working on our inner self in order to create our reality, not somebody else's, because their world is not yours. It's only yours when you indulge in it and manifest it for them. You know what I mean? This is why the entertainment industry has such a big impact on people's mentality.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And trust me, we need to stop living lies and start living truth, because that vibration of truth is so powerful. You actually connect with the divine, you know what I mean? Instead of those underworld energies. Trust me, it's not a joke out there, you know.
Absolutely. The frequency that the planet's been in for the longest time is changing. Has changed.
Yeah,
it started with those the great conjunction. You know, was that 2021?
2020 to 2022, 2-year conjunction, I think.
You know, so it's the change is here. They can't hold that ball under the water anymore. From generation to generation, from centuries, there's always been somebody that said, "Oh, I'll take over for the next 100 years. Oh, I'll take over." Yo, then run out of hand, and velocity. The point of velocity has been reached, and that ball is rising to the point where it's just gonna, and that will mean that you go to sleep one night and wake up, and everything will have changed. The whole system would have changed. I told you about fiat currency. It doesn't last longer than 100 years. Whoever's the one who's, top dog, and when I say top dog, they've gone around and robbed, raped and pillaged and persecuted and made you sign treaties and God knows what to use their currency, and then you use it because you've got no choice with holding a shotgun to your head. That's over. That's why some of these smaller countries that are just breaking away and no longer want to use a dollar, a US dollar, and using their own currency and wanting to apply to join the BRICS nations. I'm telling you, it's a big split, massive split taking place. And yes, they're still battling for that dominancy. Somebody, some entity wants to be the top dog. But guess what? We can be our own top dogs, can't we? We don't have to rely on their currency, because once it's theirs, they control it. They can do what they want to do with it, make it valueless, make it have value, whatever. But when you hold your own, yeah, whatever that might be, it's yours, and you can do what you need to do with it. Then they have no control over your life. What an amazing time to be alive. I think that also rhymes.
Yeah, I do stuff.
Just a floor for me. And before I move on, just one thing, STS.
Okay.
Shout out to the Buttar family.
Yeah, man. Blessings.
Dr. Rashid Buttar, an amazing man back in 2020 when, Mark Steele was really pumping it out there and telling people, whoa, yo, watch this thing, yeah, this and that, yeah, about the, the Bang Bang Boogie, yeah. For me, I mean, he transitioned on the 18th of May, so quite recently. But that man, I'm telling you now, yo, he stood up, he spoke out, he encouraged people to use other methods of treatment instead of the ones that they had for you, flipping ventilators, shoot, bust up your lungs, you can't breathe, you're dead as frig. Remdesivir, well, you got a respiratory problem, this actually stops you from breathing. Midazolam, you get what I'm saying? He encouraged people to look at other methods of treatment and get in there early. They ridiculed him, they vilified him, they took him off the internet. I mean, I remember once, I think it was in late 2020 or 21, when he called for a mass meditation to avert something that was going to take place, that the evil ones had decided that we were going to do, and millions of people all over the world joined into this mass meditation. That shows you the power of the mind and how powerful we are in terms of stopping certain things that the powers that be, because remember, they're the few and we're the many. So when we come together and we join on that connectivity of love and oneness, powerful.
Yeah.
They can't control it. They can only control you when you're in fear, because you're coming like deer in a headlights.
Trust me, you pray.
Okay.
It's interlinked with what I was gonna say anyway. Like, your greatest currency is energy, and what's his name again? Dr. Buttar.
Dr. Buttar.
He knew that. This is why he brought millions of people together to change the energy on the planet. Because when you change the energy of so many people, we're all interconnected.
Yeah.
So it actually affects everybody on the planet, even the animals. Everybody's connected.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So we have more love on the planet. Other people have more love. You get me? Like, trust me. Like, we have to realize how powerful we are, man.
It's contagious, isn't it? It's like, you hear somebody laughing and you don't even know what they're laughing about, but because of the way they're laughing, what do?
You start laughing.
You start laughing.
Giggling yourself.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
To the point where you might be doubled over, but you have no idea why you're laughing. That's how much of a connectivity we have.
Mirror neurons.
Okay.
When we smile more time, you smile.
That's why babies smile back at you.
Yeah, because they're looking at you like, they're observing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they're imitating.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In school, and they say, you shouldn't cheat, and that, you should, because that's how we learn, by copying.
Exactly.
This is how they mash man up,
Yeah, absolutely. Divide and rule in it, so they can have their hierarchy in their school system and whatever system. So, this man, beautiful soul, transitioned on the 18th of May. Yeah, and what he did for his fellow men and women. Trust me, not a lot of people stood forward and came to the front at that early stage of this scandemic. He did, It was a young man, relatively young, I would say. He was born on the 20th of January, 1966. Yeah, so a young fella, 4 years younger than me. But he did an interview on CNN back in, I think it was 2021, and literally saying all the things that he'd been saying on his YouTubes. I mean, obviously he had millions of followers. YouTube took him down. He literally shadow banned and all sorts, and you can imagine at that early stage with them wanting to carry out their plan, he was a cog in the wheel, and they weren't, going to let that happen. And he did this interview with a reporter, or you can call it, reporter, because they just report, which is no port, talking about the COVID and all the rest of those things, yeah, and what his thoughts were, and he backed it up with a lot of evidence as well. You'd have to go and watch it. Now the man that interviewed him, Drew Griffin, his name was, and you'll notice I said was. He asked him during the interview. He said, "Well, according to you, then millions, maybe billions of people are going to sort of like check out because they've had certain medical procedures." And he said, in all probability, yes. So he said, "Well, I've had my medical intervention." And he said to him, "Well, if you're around in 3 years' time, we'll talk about it." That man, Drew Griffin, passed away, died suddenly, 14 months after that interview. 14 months after that interview. And if you watch that interview, he's ridiculing Dr. Buttar, calling him insane and, to go around saying all these things and frightening people, yada, yada, yada. 14 months later, checked out. But in the last interview that Dr. Buttar had, and he wasn't looking good at all. You could see that there's something definitely wrong. He said that he'd been in ICU and all sorts, but he said that he'd had what they'd found in his system was like, I think 100 times what everybody else has had with regards to that clot shot. So at some point along the line, he was poisoned, and he does say he was poisoned, and he thinks that that poison took place roughly around after the interview on CNN, which kind of like makes sense, doesn't it? So what can I say? He's been called home, but whatever he was sent to do, he has done. Do you get what I'm saying? So when people transition, yes, we're more on the physical loss, but we know that we're energy beings. You know what I'm saying? And we come back time and time again. So Dr. Buttar hasn't left us. Spiritually, physically, you're not going to be able to connect with the man, but spiritually, in his energy, will always be here, and he'll always be remembered. He will be a martyr to many men and women out there who listen to him, and by doing so are still here today. Do you know what I'm saying? So that gauntlet has just been passed on. You know what I mean? It won't die, and he will never die in my eyes. So shout out to Queen Michelle as well, who posted the link on the Telegram to alert us to the fact that that this great man, and I really do mean that sincerely, a great man has transitioned. But like I said, we're energy beings. And my man in the physical is no longer here, but his spirit, his very essence in his energy and his love for his fellow men and women will always be here. Yeah?
Yeah, so, we don't die, we multiply.
See it there? So, Dr. Rashid Buttar, rise in power.
That's definitely.
R.I.P. Rise in power. All right, now you.
Yeah, it's, fam, so cool. You know what I mean? Like, temperature. Oh my gosh, it's beautiful out here, baby. You know what I mean? But yeah, man. I haven't really got any much worldly subjects to talk with you about. Well, you know what I mean? I haven't got no much worldly stuff to talk to you.
I've got something for the people. Then
I've got actually, it's come to my head now. Yeah, man. People need to trust me. People need to go on nature walks. Shout out to my older mass T out there. People need to go on nature walks and actually connect, you know what I mean, on a deeper level with Mother Nature. When you're stuck in your yard all the time, trust me, it hurts your energy field, because there's so many frequencies around us. Luckily, I won't even say luckily, because the Lady Crown's got that awareness. She's got diodes and shungite,
crystals.
Energy groups, you know what I mean? So basically, the frequency is much better in the household. So people need to invest in that if you have to stay in your house anyway. Say if you're working at home or something. But at the same time, we need to connect with Mother Nature more. It's a blessing having this up here because we've got access all the time. You know what I mean, to a nature spot. But the key thing is not just about the nature walk, it's about exercising your brain, your lungs, your whole system, man, when you walk. A lot of us are sitting down all the time. We haven't been made to sit down, Like, trust me, the animal nature within us, trust me, shout out to Mayor Snyder, movement for life. We have to move. We can't sit down and expect ourselves to have a good life. It's not going to happen, man, because your body is your mind. David Goggins has proved that so much, fam, in his journey. Like, your body is your mind. The more you work on your body, the more your mind gets stronger. So if you sit down all day, you're going to become a couch potato, man. You're not going to be able to, function properly. We have to really stand up in our power, and take it back, man. We need to observe the animals. The animals are always moving, always moving. Don't matter if it's a little ant, a slug. The slug's still moving, You see how slow it is? It's still a move. If you sit down all day, trust me, you're going to be in a deficit. I thought I'd just give you that message, man, because I know a lot of people out there, they don't only sit inside, they got fluorescent and that LED lighting penetrating the optical nerve, penetrating the body, and blue lights has been proven to cause depression. It's been proven. Red light, on the other hand, has been proven to upregulate your genes. So we need to start really studying what's really around us. The reason why they started installing a lot of LED lighting in the
in the homes,
and the street lights is because it's affecting your genes, your biological structure. There's a war out there. It's bio warfare. So you have to be aware of this and avoid it as much as possible, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, that medical intervention that was offered to people not so long ago has been classified as a bioweapon. So you're right when you talk about bio warfare. Most definitely it is. It's for us to use some discernment and actually do some research before we go ahead and do certain things on the say-so of somebody else, because they might not have your best interest at heart, believe it or not. Yeah, that includes your doctors, your MPs, your Prime Minister, your local authority, the private corporation, local authority, your councillors. They may not have your best interest at heart because they may be ignorant and have no idea to what's happening, because they're like a lot of people, sheeples. They enjoy the ego because they're a councillor or so-and-so, and I'm an executive portfolio holder, and I'm a this and I'm a that. They're a piece of shit. That's what they are, because they don't do anything for the people that they proclaim to serve. They don't do anything, because if they did, what's happening now is, let's say for example they had no idea, no concept what was going on. That's a lot of people, but then certain information started to come out. Don't you think, or they were sent certain documents for them to read and to be aware of what's happening? Don't you think that one of them would have said, wait a minute, let's have a look here, something not quite right, and do the right thing? Like the one man that I have to big up every time, even when I don't shout him out, Andrew Bridgen. Trust me, he's another one that's standing up, and regardless of the fact that he's been ridiculed, that he's been shadow banned, these other parliamentarians aren't with him, he is standing alone. And I say alone, there's a few of them that are actually there with him as well. But when you look at the amount of MPs that they are, you know why. So don't think you conservatives, you're late. Don't even think. I mean, it's a little game of ping pong. Oh, you know what? I'll let you win this, and then you can have the next 4 years. Or we'll win it. Then, but they carry on the same blinking agenda. Keir Starmer's not going to do anything for the people. Keir Starmer is affiliated to the World Economic Forum, as is so rightly, well, not rightly said, as he said in an interview. Yeah, he'd much rather work with them because Parliament seems to be a bit chaotic. So that means you're not serving the people. And we know that because you're registered with the corporation, United Kingdom, not England. Anybody that has, I'm moving on now. Yeah, I've had my rant.
I was just going to say, do you feel lighter?
Yeah, just a little bit. I mean? Yeah, I always do. This is wonderful. You know what I mean? I only know therapy. Yo, it's in therapy, right, Jessa?
Sure, yeah.
Okay. If you have worked for Tesco's, yeah, and you have a pension, or you're expecting a pension, you need to be very mindful. Yeah? Tesco Pension Fund. What happened with Tesco Pension Fund? Tesco Pension Fund has fallen into a deficit after plunging 9 billion. You heard me? 9 billion following several safe investments. Now that just sounds really quite like a crazy statement. These were safe investments. Then why the falling by 9 billion? Now this is people's pensions. 340,000 men and women are receiving or expect to receive their pension. Now these companies, Tesco's, whoever, have invested into government gilts, which are bonds issued by the government, and generally considered to be low risk investments. Generally considered to be low risk. Obviously not low risk investments if 9 billion has been wiped off the value of those pensions, because what's happening is that when they buy these gilts and these bonds, oh, they're wonderful and they're making investments and they're making money. But then when the Bank of England, who's a private corporation, decides to raise interest rates, guess what? You got it. The price of the bonds plummet 9 billion. So what I'd like you to do, if you know anybody out there that's working for Tesco's, been there for 20, 30 years. Some people work their whole life and they're 16, till about 60, 65. They may not get their pension. If they're in a position to actually take their pension, I suggest you just, do a little research on the internet. You'll see what I'm talking about and advise them to do something like now. Move it, because you can actually access your pension and move it from one place, but not into another pension. You need to put it into, there are, I think they call them IRAs in America, and I'm not sure what they call them everywhere. You can actually move them into the physical tangible assets. So that's where your money is invested. You get what I'm saying? You need to take control of your investments. You cannot have worked for 40, 50, 60 years sometimes. Some people work long. And then all of your pensions that you paid in, you leave it to your bosses or your company to take care of it for you. What if, like what's happening now, it all disappears overnight? We need that you should have a nanny state business, or we'll look after it for you. No, you invest it yourself. Look for something that you can put that money into, so that they will take that money out of your wages, yes, but it goes into your investments. But when you go and listen to these people, because they'll always send you to talk to people about your pension, and guess what they'll do? They sing off the same hymn sheet. So the bonds and the stocks and the this and the that. That's what they'll advise you to invest in. And right about now, they're not working out so wonderful. So spread it far and wide and let your people them know, if you've got a pension with Tesco's, you need to do something ASAP. Okay. You've got the chairman. Oh, listen to that. Look, I'm trying to tell you. Just having a good old chin back. They must say, yes, move the money, take the money. The chairman of Tesco's is stepping down amid allegations of inappropriate behaviour with some female members of staff. Yeah, one of them quite senior, apparently. Now, this man is, as a non-executive chairman, John Allen, his name is, and he gets 690,000 a year. Ooh, can't be bad, can it? Yeah, and did have a fangle with people, but instead of getting on with the work. Now, the boss of Tesco's is Ken Murphy. Guess how much he earned? 4.5 million last year, despite Tesco's profits halving. Yeah, and prices rising in the shops. Well, they will rise in the shops because if their profits go down, they're going to put the price of the food up, so they continue to pay 4.5 million to one man. Okay, now when you look at what jobs they're offering and what they're paying, check this out. This is just a few of them. Customer assistant, £10.30 to £11.20 an hour. What are you going to do with that? Bakers, £9.30 to £11.56 an hour, so you can get incremental, increases. HGV drivers, £12 to £17 an hour. Manager, £11.54 to £19.40 an hour. Warehouse, £10.40 to £15.41 an hour. Warehouse manager gets paid more than the actual manager for the store, £12.64 to £22.29 an hour. No one know what that can do. Trust me. Look what they're paying hard-working men and women, and then look at what they're taking for themselves. It's just outrageous when you think about it. It's obscene, yeah? But they say that they pay good wages. I don't know what that means, to be quite honest with you. Come in, my youth. Unless you want me to continue.
Continue.
Okay. So that's the lovely Tesco's for you. Yeah? Now, we've got... oh gosh, I don't know if you guys are looking in other places. You've got, the flight logs for Jeffrey Epstein's Island. You need to look at it. Some of the names on there will shock you. I'll call them out. Go look for yourself. you see, it's the great reveal. We are in Revelation time because it's a great reveal. So all that was hidden is coming to the surface. But guess what? It's not going to land in front of your nose if you sat there watching whatever you're watching on television. You need to just do a little bit of research. Just type in Jeffrey Epstein's flight log. It'll come up, yeah? Wayback Machine. The things that were scrubbed are on the Wayback Machine. So trust me, people just gone back on there, brought them forward and posted them for you to have a look at yourself. So you probably stop worshipping these men and women that you've been worshipping when you realise where they've been and what they've done. Now, in America, the United States of America is no longer united, and you're going to find and see and watch lots of states literally take back ownership, governorship of their state. They're not going to be a part of the United States, yeah. And they're already, and they have done, introduced bills to have gold and silver as legal tender. It was before. They're now bringing it back. Now there's lots and lots of states that are actually have put these bills forward and waiting for the results to come back, and some that have actually said, "Yeah, we're going for it." So some of the states that have said gold and silver are legal tender, which they will use to, all it takes is the retailers and whoever it is to say, oh, actually, right, okay, that's going to be the dollar price, and then if you're paying with silver or gold, then this is what we want from you. That's already happening. So you've got Louisiana, you've got Utah, Texas, yeah, passed legislation recognizing gold and silver as legal tender. South Carolina, Tennessee is waiting to see the outcome. Indiana, Kansas, Oklahoma, West Virginia, all of these have already passed legislation to use gold and silver as legal tender. It's the only real money on the planet. What man created, well, you can see what man's created, because look what's happened. It's been used to subjugate men and women. It's been used to bribe officials. It's been used to corrupt the whole system, and it's not for the people, because it's a private corporation. Wherever a central bank is, it doesn't belong to that country. They're just going to take control of your country with their faux money, give it value, and we all think that we're buying stuff. We don't buy anything, you know what I mean? It's a promise to pay. So whatever you got, you don't really own it. You're still promising to pay for it. It's a debt instrument, yeah. And there's lots of other states. So in total, probably about 25, 30 states. Now, America consists of how many? 52 states. You can see there's going to be a massive split. Those that want to carry on with the charade, because that's what it is, Fed coin and all that kind of malarkey, good luck to you. But these states are saying, you know what? We are taking back control of our state. And we're not, I mean, they've literally said, you know what you can do with your Fed coin? Literally. And yeah, they're more Republican than they are Democrat states, but because some people just like to be used and abused, and they're so used to it that it doesn't feel like they've been abused anymore, because they've become accustomed to it. So it feels okay, even though they've been persecuted in their own states. So I think that's absolutely fantastic, absolutely wonderful. The world is changing in ways that are before were unimaginable. Who would have thought that 3 years ago that they would have locked down the whole planet over sinting when it really exists, man-made, created, and all the rest of it? You told people that 3, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, they said, oh, don't be silly. No, what are you talking about, Cynthia? More to come, a lot more to come. So all we got to do is prepare for it, but keep abreast of what's happening. And when you see that central banks are buying gold and silver like crazy, why do you think they're doing that? Eventually, they're going to have to back the currency with gold and silver. Otherwise, it will have no value. Who's going to want a piece of paper, whether it be $1, a pound, or whatever? Who's going to want that when it's not backed by anything physical? Because that's a fiat currency. That means it can be inflated, which is what we've got now. All those countries that use $1 are starting to use their own currency, and all of those dollars are going to go flooding back to America. You're going to see hyperinflation like you've never seen before. But if you've prepared for it and you've divested yourself of that faux money and exchanged it for the real deal, trust me, you'll be all right. Well, I was listening to Andy Shepman a couple of days ago, and he was saying that some clients that he's got were saying that their banks were refusing to release the money for them to then buy the the silver or the gold. Told them that they didn't think it. Imagine it's your money and you know what you're doing with it, but the bank refuses to wire transfer the money to Miles Franklin so they can get their precious metals, because they don't think it's a safe investment for these people. I mean, the audacity, they want to keep you in that dollar and that paper-based money, and because they know that when it goes, and it will go, you'll be wiped out, and then whatever you've got, they'll just come and scrape it all up. So the central banks are buying silver and gold. Guess what you need to do? Well, you go for the silver, because at the end of the day, gold's like, I don't know, $2 an ounce or whatever it is. Go for the silver. You can still get it. And if I were you, I'd make sure I'd have a little chink in your armour, because you're going to need it. Trust me. Me wrap up. Come here, some things for Planto. Yes, Tone, I'm still on it. I'm going to show you. I'm going to send you a photo of something that I'm not quite sure what it is, because we can't find. I can't find the name on it yet. So I'll send you a photo and or ring you later and you can tell me what it is. I'm not quite sure where to plant them, because I'm not able to plant it. But yeah, we're on it like a carb on it, and blessings to you.
Yeah. Keep on loving yourself wholeheartedly, and remember that every single thing's giving you a sign. All you got to do is take action, you know what I mean, the right action to manifest your greatness, because that's what it really comes down to. Because when you really get down into the nitty gritty of life, you'll realize that your personal journey is the most important thing. Because when you really tap in and elevate yourself, you can help others elevate. You get me? Everything's interconnected. You don't want to reject yourself. But yeah, man, that's all we got to say for this one. Keep working on your mind, body, and soul in order to achieve your goals, because we're there with ya.
Spiritually.
You don't know, bro and sis. Stay blessed. And yeah, Lady Crowne and STS over and out. Peace and blessings.
Peace, my people. Peace. Have a strong day.